We've all seen the headlines, right? Some major website has been hacked. It's a story we hear all the time, but what's really going on behind that breaking news banner? And there it is. That sinking feeling you get when you see a service you actually use has been breached. Your first thought is probably, is my data okay? Is my account compromised? Well, a hack isn't really like what you see in the movies, a crazy burst of typing, and then, I'm in. The reality is a whole lot quieter and way more methodical. The truth is, it's almost never just one single event. It's a chain of deliberate actions, a patient process that usually starts with finding just one tiny crack in a website's armor. Okay, so it all starts here with the search for that one single vulnerability. This is kind of like the attacker's reconnaissance phase. Attackers aren't always blasting their way through some digital fortress. More often than not, they're just checking for an unlocked door, maybe an outdated plugin, a simple server misconfiguration, or a known software bug that, for whatever reason, just never got patched. All right, so once they're in, that's when the real work begins. The next phase is all about escalating their access and exploring the system quietly. And what they do next is incredibly methodical. First, they try to escalate their privileges, right? They're aiming for full admin access. Then they move silently, mapping out the whole system to find the real prize, the user data, all without tripping any alarms. And that, of course, brings us to the main event, the actual theft of the crown jewels, the data itself. So what exactly are these crown jewels? Well, typically it's your account info, your email, and this is the big one, your password hashes. Now, that's the encrypted, scrambled up version of your password. And even though it's all jumbled, with enough time and computing power, it can often be cracked. Next, the attacker copies that entire database and just pulls it right out of the system. And here's what's really unsettling. This entire digital heist can go completely unnoticed for weeks, sometimes even months. But look, a smart attacker, they don't just grab the goods and run. They set up a little insurance policy just to make sure they can always get back in. This is what we call a backdoor. It's a hidden entry point that completely bypasses all the normal security. So even if the website owner finds and fixes the original problem, the attacker still has their own secret key to the building. But the damage doesn't stop with just that one website. This is where the ripple effect starts, and the danger begins to spread far and wide. That stolen data, it very quickly finds its way onto underground forums, where it's sold or traded among other cybercriminals. At this point, your personal information has become a commodity. And this is really where it hits home for you and me. Criminals use a technique called credential stuffing. They take the stolen username and password from that one hacked site, and then they use automated bots to try logging into hundreds of other popular services. We're talking your email, your bank, your social media, you name it. The scale of this is it's staggering. We are talking about millions of accounts that can be potentially compromised, all of it stemming from that one single initial breach. So let this sink in. This is the critical takeaway. A single vulnerability on one website can easily become a massive security crisis for millions of people all across the internet. And this really leaves all of us with a very personal and very important question to think about. Just how secure is that one password you tend to use almost everywhere?